Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Today, we have an amazing webinar on AGRITECH in Russia and Brazil, current trends and opportunities for business, and where we will be talking about the big trends. And we need to keep on eyes on this could directly impact the businesses. And welcome to our discussion. My name is Alexander Uglov, and I'm the founder of CEO of the venture studio AGRITECH, where we build and scale sustainable ventures. And I'm also founder of the Gate Club business community for tech entrepreneurs, VCs, and digital transformation leaders. I will be serving as your moderator today. And you will be hearing a presentation from industry experts and successful companies on the very timely subject. But before we get started, I want to take a few minutes of your time and emphasize main points. This event is organized by Embassy of Brazil in Moscow in cooperation with the Superior Technological Park and with the informational support of Rusbase Media about business and technology. Working language of the event is English, but there will be simultaneous translation from English into Russian and in both ways, in Russian into English as well, available during this event. Please click the interpretation button on the toolbar and choose the language you would like to hear. And there will be 10 minutes of question and answers after the session with experts and 10 minutes after the pitch session. After startup pitches, the attendees can ask their question to the speakers in writing via Zoom chat, preferably in English, please. If your question is not answered during the webinar, please send it via email into the address indicated in the chat. Okay, agriculture plays a crucial role in economic growth of some of the largest nations across the globe, which includes US, China, India, France, Spain, Brazil, and Russia, among many others. With continuously growing population and rising demand of agricultural output to meet the increasing demand, the investment in agriculture technology solutions have been growing at an impressive pace worldwide. The COVID-19 outbreak has affected the overall growth, the rate of global agri-tech markets in the year of 2020 in negative manner due to decline of revenue growth of companies and operating in the market and decline the demand of customers. However, the growth is expected to normalize from 2021 onwards, and the market is projected to grow and steady pace during the forecast period of 2020 to 2017. The adoption of digital technologies in agriculture is uneven in scale and scope. Commercial large-scale agriculture in developing world, including large agri-enterprises in Russia, has been adopting digital technologies for some time. Especially, this includes so-called precision technologies in agriculture. And zooming into Brazil, agribusiness, which is the last years already accounted for a significant share of Brazilian GDP, and seems to be immune against such problems of economic growth and sequences professional and investors through shelter in it, causing a massive inflow of human and financial capital in the sector. And right now we have a financial capital and human capital and a large domestic market and significant support, all ingredients indeed for successful innovation hub to agriculture in both countries. Now we're moving along to our first session, and it's an expert session, and they gave us overview of the agri-tech systems of Brazil and Russia and discovering problems and needs of agro-industry in both countries. And let me introduce to us our guests, Kleber Oliveira Soares, Deputy Secretary of Innovation at Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock and Food Supply of Brazil, who will be speaking to us on perspective on innovation in Brazilian agribusiness. Please welcome.
Thank you, Alexander. Thank you so much to stay with you. Good morning. Could you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I'm so pleased to stay here with you to talk a little bit about some perspective for innovation in Brazil. I am Cléber Soares. I'm Deputy Secretary for Innovation in Ministry of Agriculture in Brazil. Our Brazilian perspective for innovation nowadays are based on the progressive curve of socioeconomic change, because we know that until the 19th decades, we know that the increase of productivity and production in agriculture in Brazil was supposed by social issues, business and public policy issues. And after the 19 in the beginning of the 2000, the technology technology perspective increase and contribute to improve a lot of the agriculture in Brazil. And then we are suppose that the future of the agriculture in the tropical area, especially in Brazil, will be based on 2B, bites and biological issues and biological inputs. Support these pictures, we start to build some kind of agricultural innovation agenda in Brazil that is based in 5 strategic axes. Some of these strategic axes is based first of sustainability. For us, sustainability is very important issue, because we know that for example, carbon technology and decarbonization chain, agricultural chain is and will be more important for resilient agriculture in Brazil in the tropical area. The second strategic axis that we are looking is based on bioeconomy. Why bioeconomy? We know that less than 10 main agricultural culture to feed the world is support more than 70% of the feeding in the world. And based this pillar, we start to develop new guidelines for bioinputs, for bioenergy, and some issues like genetic resource, and try to diversification our agriculture. The third important axis for the Brazilian innovation agenda is based on digital. We know that we need to improve our guideline in virtual learning, blockchain, and try to develop new device in the same way. For us, it's very important to improve our connectivity in field. Our fourth important X is based on open innovation, because we know that we need to improve the AGRITECH movement, the innovation ecosystem in the same way we are improve our movement in to build new allies to value aggregation in agriculture in Brazil in general way. And the last one that we are focused is on food tech. Food tech is a very important issue for the Brazilian agriculture, because we are to propose to increase a new agenda based on, for example, in new ingredients, new process, and the same way we are work on plant-based Brazilian plan. Yes. Just to give some example for the Brazilian movement in these five strategic X about bioeconomy and sustainability. We know that the Brazilian agriculture is involved very fast. We passed to the new the green revolution that is based on typical commodities productions. But nowadays we have more than 17 millions of hectares that use the integrated production system. And we start a very strong movement that a new kind of agriculture that we called bio-based agriculture. For us, this will be the third wave for the agriculture in Brazil and the tropical area in the world. Digital. For just to give you one example, the Brazilian government, the Brazilian Ministry of Agriculture, start to plan and to project the new scenarios for connectivity in the agricultural area in Brazil, because we know that connectivity is a very strong tools to improve the digital age. In the same way, in open innovation, our movements try to establish new bridges to innovation. Our focus is to connect partnership between AGRITECH or startup and involve big companies, small companies, financial funds, and other players that can promotes the open innovation movement in the Brazilian agriculture. Just to know, we are completing very fast, and we start to monitor the movement of open innovation and startup dedicated on agriculture in Brazil. In 2019, we had more than 100 startups dedicated on agriculture, and nowadays we have more than 2,000 startups dedicated on agriculture in Brazil in general. And nowadays we know that what kind of startups or AGRITECH is operated inside the farm, before the farm, and after the farm. It's very important for us because we know that a big company one day was as some kind of startup. And just for giving one example, in 2017 in Brazil, a kind of startup called Gira starts to movement. And the last year, this startup was bought by Santander Group because they movement more than $1 billion in a kind of fintech or AD fintech in Brazil. And another movement that we start to promote in Brazil is the food tech movement. Special focus on plant-based, cell-based, and new ingredients. It's quite all that I would like to talk and to explain about the Brazilian innovation movement. I appreciate staying with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Soares. Thank you for addressing us this interesting topic. And I wonder that the Brazilian startup movement is so high and growth twice in 1 year. It's amazing. It's It's really amazing. And now I'm pleased to welcome Roman Petrov, IT Director of AGRITECH Group of companies, which provide a overview of the theme of innovation agriculture in Russia. What technologies are being implemented in agricultural sector in Russia? Please welcome Roman.
Yes, thank you very much. I will share the screen. Okay, this is okay. Yes, I'm working for AGRITECH, and AGRITECH is engaged in crop production. So we plant soy, sugar beet, wheat, sunflower, as well as we produce seeds. Currently, AGRITECH has more than 2,000 hectares in operation, so it's a little. We are a rather big company. I would like to start from the specificity of agriculture in Russia. We have large territory of agricultural land. We have strong state regulation. Large territory that we have leads to the difficulties in logistics operations. The further our fields away from the big cities, the worse the telecommunications. And of course, in these areas, we lack of qualified personnel. The size of companies varies from the large holdings like we, or even much more, to small farmers. But the tendency is to enlarge the land bank. Thus, I think Russia is very similar to Brazil. I would like to share with you the world trends that concerns agriculture. As we heard, ESG, zero carbon footprint, is very important and became important more and more. Predictive analytics in maintenance saves money for companies like us on repairs and in operations. I'm talking about machine learning technologies. Robots getting smarter and performing more and more operations instead of people. So I'm also including in this trend autopiloting, machine vision, remote self-diagnostics. It becomes relevant because of COVID pandemic, and of course, in case of lack of qualified personnel in region, and the last one is intelligence security. Workers often ignore the security because of they want to do something quicker, and computer analytics and sensors saves lives. Save lives. What do we want? What business wants? What problems technology solve? Of course, increasing. All businesses want to increase their revenue, reduce risks, reduce cost of operations, and first group of operations that I mentioned here, trying to solve the question of situational awareness. What is happening in the fields in this huge area and in distant territory? Monitoring of the equipment is not a new technology, but it doesn't lose relevance. Equipment manufacturers regularly expand the ability to monitor and receive data from the equipment, and it allows us to collect the data about the actual conditions of this equipment. IoT, additional sensors that we put on the equipment or put in the fields allows us to collect the data about the quality of operations, about weather conditions, about soil conditions, etc. Distant field monitoring. Actually, weather conditions in central Russia do not allow us to get a regular high quality satellite images such as NDVI or soil moisture, actually because of clouds. So we compensating it by using small aircraft or drones or copters, but the cost of this, due to the cost of such services, it's advisable to use it only on high margin crops, not for all territory. There's a number of services that allows us to receive distant consulting services in different digital platforms are increasing it. It's a good trend. If the first group of technologies allows us to collect the necessary data, these technologies of data analytics and forecasting helps us to achieve this sustainable effect. The money is here. Services that help us in decision making are being developed in our sector. We use big data analysis when planning work for next years, taking into account many of factors: crop rotation, weather data, crop development risks, logistics cost, etc. The provision of what-if analysis for decision making during the production process allows us to make informed choice to use or not use plant protection chemicals, or not to do or not to do different operations. Analysis of satellite images and video allows us to determine risks of crop development. The next group of trends is about the client. It's about the client perspective. Many agriculture companies develop their own web portals, marketplaces, and even ecosystems of their services and products. And we can see the trend and shift from buy position into join position when we trying to join our clients around our ecosystem, and services for ecosystems are in demand. This the name of the slide is look like an advice: take on the client's tasks, but it's our pain. It's very important that the cost of operating of new technology or new app or new service that we have doesn't exceed the positive effect of use it. Sometimes it's very hard to evaluate the value on the in the beginning, and if the value is not obvious, we can try and see what will happen. But we have only one season to do this. Next season we will try another applications. Often new applications that we we see in the market requires good communications in the field, creating a new and maintaining new infrastructure, or getting permissions from government agencies. But we as a producer, we want to produce goods, not to maintain new apps. Thus, the best offer for us is service and quick response on unexpected situations. And I think companies that offer technology and shift the complexity of operation to the customer, to us, will gradually be replaced by the service companies. Partnerships or new applications is all about the trust, and there is only one season to earn it, because next season will be with new partners. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roman. Thank you for informative and interesting talk. Without further ado, I would like to welcome our next speaker is Daria Shunina. She's the head of International Startup Relation in Skolkovo Foundation to deliver the presentation on the topic of Skolkovo Foundation's soft landing program for international startups. Here we go.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to say that I'm really excited to be the part of this great event. Thank you for inviting me. And let me share my screen with you so you can see my presentation. Okay, so today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Skolkovo Foundation and about the soft landing program that we have for international startups. First of all, I would like to say some words about the Russian market. Russian market is, I would say, a relatively new market. It's a very interesting and special market for international companies. If you decide to go to the Russian market, you can find, I think, a lot of useful things here. Here on the screen, you can see some characteristics. For example, Russia currently is the 11th largest economy in the world by nominal GDP. We have a really attractive tax system in comparison with some other countries. Moscow is considered to be the second largest city in Europe, and it's really a huge megapolis with a lot of interesting facilities and great infrastructure. We have a lot of different special economic zones for developing your products. We have a high level of scientific and technological development, and we have a lot of great and talented people that you can hire for your projects. And of course, we are a big multinational state. And in 2020, Russia was considered to be one of the top 30 countries in the World Bank's doing business rating. Now, I would like to say a few words about Skolkovo Foundation. I don't know if any one of you has ever visited Skolkovo. So Skolkovo Innovation Center is one of the biggest innovation centers in Russia, and it is one of the biggest technopark in Europe. It's 400 hectares. It's a large innovation hub. Right now, we have already more than 3,000 different startups that are divided by different directions. I will tell about them a little bit later. We have a lot of facilities for startups, starting from the school and kindergarten for your children and ending with co-working spaces, laboratories, social cultural spaces, and other interesting facilities. In Skolkovo Foundation, our main goal is to help startups to promote their products, to help them to go global or to go to the Russian market. And of course, we try our best to do this. If we're talking about the main spheres, the main areas of research that we are interested in, so we have 4. This is IT. Of course, it's one of the most interesting modern spheres. It's energy efficient technologies, everything that is related with oil, gas, smart cities, smart house, and other sectors. Advanced industrial technologies, it is everything connected with telecommunications, different types of materials, and space exploration. And of course, the sector that is relevant for you, as we're talking about agricultural sector mainly today, this is biomedical sphere, or we call it cluster, biomedical cluster that includes medical technologies, cosmetics, and of course, agricultural technologies. I would say that agricultural sphere is very traditional. However, right now it's also very burning. And we have a lot of different startups in Skolkovo in this sphere, and we would like to find out more new and interesting technologies and interesting startups. So next slide. If we're talking about our support measures and our networking opportunities, we have a lot of different facilities. First of all, we have a huge panel of mentors that can always help you. We have more than 700 different mentors. We have a lot of international partners. So we work with the biggest corporations in Russia. We have more than 100 different partners. We can help you with the governmental support, with financial support. And of course, we can help you to grow your product. If we're talking about the Skolkovo soft landing program, mainly the idea of Skolkovo Foundation was to support Russian companies. However, 3 years ago, we realized that there was a huge demand from the side of foreign companies that wanted to go to the Russian market, but they didn't know what to start with. And as we are the biggest innovation center in Russia, they all referred to us. And we decided that we need to create a special program, support program for all international companies willing to expand to the Russian market or to the CIS countries. And we designed a special soft landing program that is absolutely free of charge and anyone can participate. So what opportunities can you get if you participate in this program? Before the pandemic times, the program was totally offline and we invited all companies to come physically to Moscow, to Skolkovo Innovation Center and spend 2 weeks with us. However, right now, traveling is a bit complicated, I would say, and we decided to move the program to online format. We have the program 3 times a year, and actually next cohort starts on May 31st, and the deadline is May 22. And what do you get? If you come offline, we provide you a free co-working place in a co-working area for 1 month. So during the 1 month, you can enjoy the networking opportunities in our Technopark, talk to different startups, meet investors, participate in different events, and it's absolutely free of charge. You get offline or online, it doesn't matter. We provide a special program where we have special sessions or lectures about all main aspects that you need to know about the Russian market, post-pandemic trends, about Moscow and its facilities, about IP patenting, legal issues, accountant issues, HR, GR. So we cover all spheres. The program right now lasts for 1 week. So basically these are 5 days that you spend online. It's about 2 hours a day, where you can get all this relevant information. So we try to keep the program short, but very informative and useful for you. Of course, you get in-depth understanding of the Russian market. We also do matchmaking and provide special networking opportunities for you. We invite different partners, business angels to listen to your pitch. And usually we have a special day for your presentations where our experts from different spheres, if we're talking about you from agricultural sphere, they listen to your presentations and they provide the recent feedback. And we do invite investors in case they're interested in your product, they can even invest money in your company. Also, every company gets the personal project manager who communicates with you and discuss your projects and your opportunities in the Russian market. And of course, we always invite all companies to join our events, whether online or offline. What are the conditions? As I said, right now it's 1 week program, and plus you get 1 month of co-working area. If you, for example, participate right now online, you still get this right to come later and use this co-working area for free for 1 month. Usually we have this program 3 times a year, in March, in June, but actually it starts on May 31st and then till June 4th and in October. If we're talking about offline, usually we invite not more than 3 participants. However, online we have no limits as Zoom is pretty spacious and we can have everyone on board. You can apply online. The link is here. I can share with you I can share it with you in the chat. The mechanism is the following: you apply online, our experts look through your application form and then they decide whether they accept you or not. In the end of the program, you have no obligations. If you think that you are ready to go to the Russian market and you are interested and you want to become the part of Skolkovo ecosystem, in order to become a part of our ecosystem, you need to fill in a special application form. It's also free of charge. But when you get this status, you can get certain benefits. I tell about them a little bit later. So when you apply online, our experts look through your application form, they say whether you're accepted or not, and then we are ready to go. After the program, if you don't want to do anything with the Russian market and Skolkovo is not interesting for you, so you just continue your own path, and maybe in future, if you want to come back, you're always welcomed. But if you are interested in the Russian market and in Skolkovo particularly, you can apply and get special status. We call it Skolkovo resident status. This is a status for all startups. Right now we have 3,000 of startups that have this status that allows you to get certain benefits. So why is it interesting? If you're thinking about going to the Russian market, of course, it's easier to go with us because we have a lot of support and a lot of help, and we can track you and help you to choose the right path. Plus, you can get certain benefits. Of course, these are tax benefits. If you can see here, these are a lot of benefits. I think one of the most important is profit tax, is exemption from VAT and insurance premiums. Also, you can apply for grants. So grants, it's free money that you can get in order to develop your product. Depending on your goal, you can get a certain amount of money. Of course, it's like pretty responsible. So if you get money, you need to show that you have used them on certain purposes. Also, you have a lot of business development opportunities. And of course, we have a huge range of fee-based services if you need them. So these are just some pictures of the previous soft landing program. Basically, my message is, if you're interested in the Russian market and you're willing to develop your agricultural product with us, let's innovate with Meeting together. So thank you very much. And if you have any questions, my contact details are in the chat.
Thank you. Thank you, Daria. Thank you for this presentation. Thank you for the opportunities about soft landing in Russia, in Skolkovo. And now I want to introduce our two speakers on a huge topic, Supera Innovation and Technology Park. And please welcome Milena Kais and Enrique Reis, who will be speaking about the Supera Park with the overview. Milena Kais, agribusiness manager and researcher at the Technological Innovation Center at the Supera Park, and with her overview on this ecosystem of innovation ecosystem in the park, and Enrique Reis, coordinator of the international office at Supera Park, who will bring us through the soft landing program as well to Supera Innovation Park. Please welcome.
Thank you so much, Alexander. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here in this event. I will share with you my presentation. Good. So, hello again. I'm Melina Kais. I'm responsible for the agribusiness department at Supera Park, Technological Park. I'm going to give you a brief institutional presentation on it today. Supera Park is approximately 400,000 square meters in size, and it's located in an area that comprises University of São Paulo. We are in Ribeirão Preto, São Paulo. It's a city in the São Paulo state, and Supera is here. So I'm responsible, a manager of agribusiness department, and who we are. So Supera Technological Park promotes networking and connection, integrating universities, research centers, startups, and technology-based companies by exchanging knowledge and technology. And what makes us different? It was set up in 2003 as a business incubator within the University of São Paulo. And it's become a technological park with a new structure. We have two buildings with a technology center and a business center. It's accredited by Technology and Innovation Center committee area, and that is, it has accreditation to execute project related to the law of informatics and law of good. What makes us different? Hard science, we work with hard science. We believe that hard science is high methodological rigor, accuracy, and objectivity. Our technology center has 90 testing laboratories and 80 tests certified by INMETRO, which assist both healthy and agribusiness spheres. We believe we have a project Super Educa that we believe that incentives for innovation must start at an early age. Therefore, we encourage entrepreneurship among children and adolescents. Main indicators. So, more than 60 events held in 2020. Interaction with more than 4,000 people. We have a portfolio with 73 companies, and we have generated more than 450 jobs. This indicator represented to 2020, the last year, all these indicators. Some main awards. Here is some of our most important awards. One in 2014, one in 2019, Global One, and two in 2020. Some business solution that Supera Park have. So, how to be part of Supera Park? You could be part of Supera Park through Supera Incubator. Supera Incubator is where Supera supports startups so they can develop their products and services, get their projects, and get their project off the ground by providing them with training and supporting different required areas like management, legal, fundraising, and intellectual property. Through lots is for medium and large companies. APLs is local productive arrangement in the city. We have 4 in Ribeirão Preto, São Paulo state, healthy brewing, software, and creative economy segments. Through business center is it's a building in Supera Park that have rooms ranging from 40 to 60 square meters to set up business operation. Membership it's a program that has the mission to strengthen and unify the entrepreneurial ecosystem. And Supera Lab. Supera Lab is an open innovation program intended for companies. It aims to building connections between the different actors and in the innovation ecosystem. Supera Lab use of shared space. We have a 107th room available to innovation, events space, and meets spaces. So we are in expansion, expansion. So we have a 2-phase in expansion, the innovation condominium. The innovation condominium, it's for medium and large companies. It's a complex with 126 lots that range for 800 to 4,000 square meters. Companies can rent these areas to build their facilities. The other expansion moment is Container Park. Container Park is an expansion of business center and business incubator areas, an area with rooms of 150 square meters that can hold up to 19 companies. It has complete infrastructure with restaurant, coffee shop like this. And it's a pleasure to be here. And thank you for your attention. Feel free to email me if you have any question. And enjoy the next presentation, Henrique's presentation, and come to visit us to know Supera Parque Tecnológico. Thank you.
Thank you, Melina. And now the next speaker is Henrique Reis, coordinator of International Office at Supera Parque. Please welcome.
Hi, everybody. Thank you. Does everybody can hear me well? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're hearing you well,
Yeah.
and your presentation is on the screen right now.
It is already set up. Okay, thank you, everybody. So thank you. I would like to thank you, Alexander, and also thank you, Melina, my colleague, for the presentation about Supera Parque. Now I'll talk about a soft landing program. It's very similar to what Daria already spoken to you, but it's with the parameter here in Brazil. So soft landing program is a guide for foreign entrepreneurs to start doing business in Brazil. If you're a company, if an international company would like to come to Brazil, these are the spaces that we set up here in Supera, so they can come up to Brazil and see if it's the right market, it has a fit to come to South America and do business with Brazilian companies. This is some information about Supera Parque that Melina already told you. So the soft landing program is set up in two phases. The first one we call the pre-landing phase. It's everything set up online. The soft landing program, I like to tell that is a tailor-made program for all of the companies, because we set up first on the demand that the company set for us, and then we develop a process, we develop a program together with the company to see what benefits we can get here in Brazil, what kind of strategy we can do. The first phase, so is access the fit and potential of the Brazilian market, see if we have some potential clients, potential distributors, potential companies that could make your product or be a partner of your service here in Brazil. Later, then we have a meet online sessions with all of these information and all of these players that we got, and then we together we're gonna plan your strategy. We're gonna do your business plan for the Brazilian market. We set up if you need to come to Brazil to see to set up your company here. If you can find importation company, if you can only be the developer, and then we can find a player that could sell your service or your product here in Brazil. Then we, after done all of these plans, we can help you with the legal aspect here in Brazil. We can also give you some help with regulatory aspects, taxes aspects. We have some partners that can help us with this, and then of course that you can use all of our networking. We have a network, a huge network, not only in Brazil but all of the countries that are near Brazil, and also in Europe and America and also Asia. Then we are gonna try to do a matchmaking with a Brazilian company to see if it can help this process here in Brazil to set up your product here. The second phase is when you and your company come literally to Brazil. So we will help you with workspace here in Supera, and then you can get all of the infrastructure and the furniture. We have one-on-one sessions with players here in Brazil, with huge players. And we also have some meetings of mentoring and design your extensions for the Brazilian market. What are the eligibility criteria to come to Brazil? We only ask that your company has to be a technology-based company. This is the only thing that we ask. And also that your team must or speak in English or speak Portuguese, and also it would help us if you can speak Spanish. One of these three languages we can help you. What are the benefits to come to Brazil, to come to Super in our soft landing program? You can access new markets. You can access a credibility very very huge for our networking, from our networking. Sorry. And what are the costs? We only ask 240 reais. It's similar. It's more or less $50 per month, and our program has a contract of 6 months. If you desire to renew this contract, we can renew for more 6 months. So in total can be 1 year. The international office. So I am the coordinator, and we have João, who is the international director, and he is the successful case. He started a company, a Belgian company here in Brazil, that it came up with the soft landing program. This is my contact. Thank you, everybody. Have a nice event.
Thank you, Enrique. Thank you, Enrique. Yeah. Thank you, both Enrique and Melina, to discover the topic of Supera Technological Park. In Brazil, it's a great opportunities for soft landing for Russian tech entrepreneurs to go to discover new market. And we may proceed to the speech of Igor Ironov, Head of Investment Analysis at Kirovsky Zavod Innovation Direction, partner of Kirov Group Ventures, who will cover the issue of venture capital and investment in agri-tech. Please welcome, Igor.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alexander. Do you see my screen? Yes?
Yeah, we're seeing.
Perfect. So I am to say a few words now about venture capital and investments in AGRITECH. So your first part should be dedicated to these issues. So talking about venture capital, let me tell a few words about us, because we are now venture capital branch of Kirov Group, of Kirov Works, Kirovsky Zavod in Russian, but we are quite independent venture hand investment vehicle. So, and let me shed a light to few issues of agritech and maybe investments in this sphere, in this field. So let's go further about Kirov Group. Let's maybe stop here. So what are we doing in agritech, or agtech, or agritech? It's defined differently in different countries. So Kirov Works, Kirovsky Zavod, is known for producing heavy tractors. So it's not the only product of the company. You can see trains, turbines, drilling machines, steel, so on and so forth. So, but main product is tractors. It's a heavy tractors, more than 400 power horse. And we produce about 20 or 30 tractors per day. So our venture investment fund, our venture investment vehicle, should be historically connected to investing into agritech. So what do we do here? So we have some industrial acceleration activities, internal entrepreneurship program. So, and here we have a corporate venture investment fund. Let's go further. So we invest in Industry 4.0, energy tech, everything is connected with digitalization, and of course, agritech. So on early stage with 300K up to 1 million checks. So talking about our portfolio, we really have agro company in our portfolio. And so it's a marketplace. It's a quite big marketplace covering business to business cross-border operations. So I think I'll say a few words about this company further, demonstrating the ideas of investment into agritech. So what drivers do we see here? So maybe it's obvious, yeah, but I have to say that because so for us, the main drivers investing in agritech, not only collaboration with Kirovsky Zavod, a company producing tractors, but of course we see here as an investment company, we see here a great opportunity, and the main drivers pushing forward these opportunities are firstly population growth, so you know, and urbanization, of course. So more than 50% now living in cities, and this number is going, this percentage is going to increase by 2015, and so there is no way to change it. So also we have high inefficiency in agriculture. So when we do our research, we suddenly face with it, because we see soil degradation, we see problems in storage, we see overusage of the fertilizers per 1 hectare. So also there is global heating, climate change. So not everybody knows that we are losing every year 10 million hectares. It's a quite high amount of surface. So yeah, and the number of hectares per capita is falling, and of course we have a strengthening food quality requirement. Now, talking about investment in agritech, what can we see? Let's enlarge this scheme I took from CB Insights. Of course, there is like in oil upstream and downstream here. So downstream is more near to the ground, so it's more connected to the growing up some seeds, some crops. But talking about upstream, we see here so quite high number of so there is a we have much space, so for farm management software, precision agriculture analytics, marketplaces, maybe some robotics and drones. So I think we have in Brazil, in Russia, even in Brazil and Russia, so quite underdeveloped agricultural markets. And need to say, of course, the more developed market we have, the more underdeveloped market we have, because new niches are growing. So for example, you implement robotics and drones, and of course a niche of new robots, new drones, marketplace of images becomes marketplace of, so yeah. And going further, I think now talking about upstream, more investments are allocated in upstream. So e-grocer, restaurant, marketplaces, some technologies, and of course, going further, going deeper, going near to the ground. So there is a great opportunity for investments to be done, I think. So for example, like robotics, biomaterial, innovative food, it's still underdeveloped and still underfinanced. And just an example, Alexander, please stop me if I'm going out of time.
Yeah, one minute left.
1 minute left. Okay. Yes, just an example. Yes, so we have a agro marketplace talking about investment opportunities here. So for example, it's not obvious, yeah, but for example, we see that there is a great B2B agro market inefficiency, and it's growing when we come to the border. So when we are faced with a cross-border trading, for example, we see a great inefficiency with the prices. That's why, for example, one of our targets decided to create a cross-border marketplace. It's not easy to to explain in few words, but I think that's let me show you an easy scheme. So, for example, there are sellers in Russia or buyers in Russia, and there are sellers and buyers in foreign markets. And from this seller and up to these buyers, there are many actions about, I think, more than 200 actions, including quality assurance, including transport, including customs, and including, so there are too many actions. So, and I think too many actions to automate them and to implement them in one marketplace. So that's what I'm talking about. So there is a great opportunity to invest. So agro market is really huge. So yeah, one more slide. Sorry, it's in Russian, but of course there is a so in precise agriculture, for example, we have drones. It's also a great opportunity to invest. There are many startups. There are many companies to invest, and they work not only in Russia but also everywhere in the world. So I think that's it. So
Thank you.
to let me finish here. So we invest in companies mainly from Russia, with Russian founders, with Russian-speaking founders. But of course, we would like to see our founders to work abroad, for example, in Brazil, in the United States, in Europe. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Igor. We were pleased to hear such profound presentation from you, and also we're pleased to welcome the last, but not the last speaker, but last speaker of this session, Francisca Jardim, co-founder and managing partner of SP Ventures, SPV. Those proposed to provide us with an overview on Brazilian AgTech and how Brazil is leading the fourth agricultural revolution. Please welcome.
Thank you very much, Alex. It's an honor to be here, and it's an honor to speak after Igor, my fellow colleague in the venture capital industry. I do something very similar to Igor, but in Brazil, and I will be, as we mentioned, giving a very similar overview, but focusing on our geography here as the opportunity. So, as I think Igor started to mention, we are firm believers that investing in agtech is one of the most exciting investment opportunities globally today. But if you get certain geographies, and Brazil definitely one of them, I believe it's by far the best investment opportunity from a long-term perspective, from a defensive perspective in a region mired with political and economic crisis, but also from a purpose perspective. I mean, it's a way to really create wealth while we guarantee food safety, creating greener, more sustainable agriculture, and strengthen supply chains, which, as we saw in COVID, it became quite relevant and important to have supply chains that don't disrupt during these kinds of global crises. Give an overview on us. We've been doing venture capital here in Brazil for over 14 years. Brazil has a vibrant venture capital ecosystem. Over the past 2 or 3 years, Brazil has created over 12, 13 unicorns in the fintech, SaaS, urban mobility sectors. We decided to focus in the agri sector since 2008 and 9. We've invested in well over 35 companies. And the reasons that brought us to focus on ag, as Igor very well pointed out, is we saw a very strong fundamental converging long-term prospects. So driven by global population growth, as Igor mentioned, we should be reaching 10 billion by 2050, and combined with enriching emerging markets. So countries like China, India, Indonesia, Vietnam, other ones, as they emerge from the levels of poverty and they bring hundreds and hundreds of millions of people in their populations from the levels of poverty, they have significant changes in their diets, in their daily diets, which not only do they consume a lot more protein, but they consume a lot more animal protein. So the combination of population growth and the population of enriching population means we're going to have a global food demand rise by 60 to 80% until 2050. This is what we call a Malthusian conflict dilemma. We will have to produce more food in the next 30 to 40 years than we produced in the last 8,000 years. And as we mentioned in the previous presentation, we're going to have to do this in a changing climate changing world with less land and also with less workers. Okay, and the primary solutions that we see to solve these problems, the ways that we see opportunities to be able to invest and solve this major lack of food that we're going to do is biotechnology, intermediation of supply chains, building a fintech industry for ag, so a deep tech financial services industry for ag. We believe that it's a great opportunity to build in the future digital banks for farmers, not only in Brazil, but from a Latin America perspective. We have to do this while we build a carbon market and we create a sustainable agriculture, so cleaning up the carbon footprint. There's going to be a very strong farmer empowerment prospect out of financial services, but also out of technology that has a long tail democratization impact. We're going to have to do this while we build climate resiliency. So we look at climate not only as a risk variable when we look at mitigation, but especially in adaptation. We need to produce through technology farmers that are resilient to climate change. And we have to democratize access to these agronomical sciences so that we can boost agricultural production by at least 70% and guarantee a smooth ride into this huge leap that we have until 2050. Why focus on Brazil? Brazil is a global agribusiness powerhouse. We lead the pack, top 3 in pretty much every single relevant agricultural commodity, from the big row crops to the more high value crops, such as orange juice, and also the animal protein complex. Beef, we're absolute leaders, poultry as well, and swine we've been growing. Aquaculture is the big missing link, but we also expect to see a lot of growth in aquaculture here in Brazil over the coming years. And the story of why Brazil became an agribusiness and how Brazil became an agribusiness powerhouse is something that is widely misunderstood. Our history in agriculture is quite similar in many respects to the Silicon Valley entrepreneurial history. In 1976, Brazil was a net importer of food, and through scientific developments and through entrepreneurial spirits coming from the south of Brazil and developing the center of the country, doing what is widely known as the miracle of the Cerrado, partnership between Embrapa and all these entrepreneurs that conquer that land, we became the world's barn. States like Mato Grosso became the largest producer of soybean. Just last month, the center of Brazil overcame the south and southeast as the largest producer of grains, and the north became the primary logistic railway to be able to export our grain production. So now, right now, we are not only a continental country in terms of production, but we are a continental country in terms of distribution as well. And do we focus on technology in Brazil instead of simply looking for importing technologies from Israel, Silicon Valley, St. Louis, Missouri, and other places that are hotbeds for global ag tech innovation? Well, when we look at the 4 or 5 major agricultural economies in the world, Canada, United States, Europe, Russia, and the former republics, and Brazil, we see that Brazil is the only major one that is tropical in nature. This means that we have, as Mr. have a very different, peculiar agricultural economy that does not adopt foreign technology with a proper product market fit. We need to develop local innovations. We have a very different biodiversity than abroad. 80% of global biodiversity is based here. We have 2 to 3 harvests a year versus 1, maybe 2 in other temperate agricultures. We have very different soil erosion, microclimates, soil variabilities, photoperiods. We have native pest diseases, weeds. So we have also been able to develop a lot of very local native agricultural systems, such as the Santa Fe system, such as the integration of livestock, forestry, and crops, among others, which we've exported to the region, such as in Bolivia and Santa Cruz and Paraguay and other countries around. We've been able to export these innovations. And we created a very deep tech innovation hub that is the primary building block for our venture capital ecosystem. We have, besides Embrapa, maybe 7 or 8 other leading agricultural tropical research centers in the world. And we see a major change going on in global agriculture and global agribusiness. One very strong implication is that the big 7 or 8 ag companies over the past 10, 20 years became 3, 4. So we're seeing a major wave of consolidation, which for us is a very clear signal that the third agricultural revolution of transgenics, GMO, and chemicals is no longer enough to be able to tech players. A few examples here: Monsanto paying $1 billion for Climate Corp, DuPont paying $300 million for Granular, and John Deere paying $300 million for Blue River. Last but not least, jumping into why ag is a very exciting sector to be investing. It's a very defensive sector in our economy. We can see here, and if we had 2020 listed in, it would be a great example. In 2020, the country's GDP shrank by 4 to 5%. Meanwhile, the ag GDP grew inside the farm gates by more than 2% and outside the farm gates by more than 20% in 2020. But if we look at 2015 and 2016, we've also had negative GDP growth with positive growth by the GDP of the agribusiness sector. So it's a sector that performs very well when the rest of the country does poorly, because it's denominated in hard currency, because it's at the bottom of Maslow's hierarchy needs pyramid, producing food, and our supply chains are very integrated to the global supply chain. So we export most of our production, meaning we do not depend on domestic ecosystem. So our agribusiness ecosystem from a venture perspective is high growth in the long term. It's defensive and protected and insulated from local crises. It's going to demand a lot more technology, not only for productivity, but also for the risk scenario changes. As my fellow Igor mentioned, not only we're going to have a lot less land to produce, but we're going to have much trickier climatic events that make it more complex, and you have to harness this complexity through technology. This is how we see the investment landscape. We break it up into 6 major categories, and I'm going to wrap it up over here. We see a lot of venture opportunities, whether it's in biotech, in digital, whether it's upstream or downstream in the venture ecosystem, in the ag ecosystem, and in both major value chains, whether it's in agriculture and livestock animal protein. So as you can see in the green balls here, it's all the sectors we've invested in, and we see a lot of new opportunities to invest and to guarantee the jump in yields that we need to deliver over the coming decades. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Francisco. Thank you. It's an astonishing presentation indeed. You gave us a real good perspective from venture capitalists. I'm curious. Probably we've got right now the questions, because we are moving to the question section, Q&A section right now after expert session. Probably somehow our attendees wants to ask our dear guest speakers to ask them interested them questions. Yeah, Francisca, do you invest in foreign startups?
Yes, we do. It's not the bread and butter, but we do. We just invested in a Canadian company called Verge Ag. So there are a few items that need to be present for us to invest in a foreign company. We need to see that that company solves a very real problem in Latin American agriculture, because that's where we're going to add value to be able to help the company scale in Latin America. Otherwise, we're just going to be a financial investor. So we do invest in foreign startups, but there needs to be a very clear strategy to be able to come and scale in Latin America. But if your objective as a foreign startup is to scale in the ag ecosystem of Latin America, as partners from a venture perspective.
Of course, I should. Maxim Kozlov asking, can he have email address of your Francisco? I hope you will share the screen or email address into the chat with our attendees, because they're interested in.
I put it over there, but I'm also going to forward.
Thank you.
There we go. It's also on the screen.
Please, guys who are asking the questions right now, please ask for whom you are addressing this question, because or I can, I can share this question aloud, and probably guest speakers take this one. Is there trial plots to test AgTech with the local crops, inputs, and diseases in Brazil? It is for all panelists and attendees question. Yeah, okay. If you don't mind, I will turn to another. It is another question with it comes with the case about the farmers from Russia. I hope it's the Supera Park already mentioned they are, attracting new startups and new farmers from Russia as well. I think is if we are talking about the Brazil, they are pretty attract any kind of startup from Russia, especially in AgTech.
Yes, just to add something, Alexander. Not only we don't have any setup for any kind of startup. If you are a startup, we are happy to talk to you to see if you have an interest to come to Brazil. So the only eligibility criteria that we ask is that you have to be connected to any technology, that you have to be a technology-based company. This is the only thing that we ask, because the whole part we work with the conception of innovation. So you have to be an innovative company, or you have to develop an innovation product. This is the only thing that we ask.
Thank you, Enrique. Thank you, Enrique, about this topic.
Just answering the previous question from Alexei on field trials in Brazil.
Yeah, please.
I can say 3. There's one that is Embrapa is setting up as we speak. It should be ready in a couple of months. It's going to called AgTech Farm. It's going to be out of Jaguariúna. I think it's going to be a great initiative, and it's going to be focused on being let's say AgTech technologies that can be tried and validated, etc. There's a private company called Promip that is in the biological spectrum that has set up a experimental station for AgTechs and new technology companies. And last but not least, there's an AgTech accelerator called Pulse, which was founded and started by us together with the largest sugarcane and ethanol group in the world, Raízen. It's a little bit focused on sugarcane, but it's definitely an AgTech landing spot for companies, local and foreign, that want to develop, co-collaborate, and test and scale technologies, mostly in the sugarcane sector in that respect, the last one.
And it is necessary to, and the question from my side, Francisco, to you, it is necessary to be invested with your company to have an entity in Brazil or different types, you know, or in Latam, or I need to.
Not at all.
Probably it can be a Russian entity or.
Yeah. No, it can. I mean, there's certain things that to do locally. If you want to hire local people, if you want to sell locally, it's much easier for you to have a local entity instead of doing everything from abroad and hiring everything from abroad. So, I mean, depending on how your operation tends to scale and go, it's definitely important to have a local entity set up. That said, you don't have to have an invested local entity. You just need to have a local entity that is controlled by a company either in Russia or in Luxembourg or in Cayman or anywhere. That has been the primary setup from a structure perspective for venture capitalists. Most of the companies who invest in Brazil or Argentina, they're constituted in BVI, Cayman, Delaware, Luxembourg, etc., Toronto, and this company owns 100% of the local operating company. This gives you a little bit of protection against exchange rate changes in the local macro political ecosystem, and it's the preferred structure for attracting new foreign investors, as they have always preferred to enter in an offshore vehicle.
Okay, yeah, see you. Thank you, Mr. Jardim. And we will go ahead to our second part of this program and this webinar. I would like to welcome the first speech from the Brazil, Rafael Coelho, CEO of AgriNow, with his presentation on applying artificial intelligence in agribusiness and AgriNow solution. Please welcome Rafael. Rafael, probably. Okay, if Rafael is now preparing to his presentation, I would propose to turn to another speaker. Our next speaker also covers the topic of artificial intelligence, Andrei Chernogorov. Sorry. We last minute change. Ilya Shkabara, who is the vice president of Cognitive Pilots and co-founder of Cognitive Pilots, and will tell us about the usage of artificial intelligence for agricultural machinery automation.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed. Yes, give me a second. I just start presentation. That doesn't work. Okay. Show screen. Stop. Okay, let's start. Sorry, I can't start the presentation. I will talk about that. I will show you.
Yeah, probably if you don't mind, we change again to Rafael. You will prepare.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Rafael. Yeah, it's okay. We are in the in the startup pitch mode. because we are, pretty.
Hello, guys.
Hello, Rafael. Yeah, please welcome.
I was not as a host here, so I could not present it. So not sure what happened here. So thank you guys for having me here. I'm going to talk a little bit about AgriNow and artificial intelligence used into agriculture in Brazil. So let me just put it here. Can you see it, the screen?
Yeah, we're seeing.
Okay, great. So we are AgriNow. We are agribusiness financial orchestrator platform for small and medium growers. So we use artificial intelligence with the satellite imagery in order to generate a lot of different data that could be used by the industry. I'm going to show you how we do that and how we use artificial intelligence for that. So first we're able to generate data from the last 5 years of any crop in Brazil. And like that, we can analyze, qualify, monitor, and collect the credit for any place out of Brazil. So we sell those kind of data to growers, to government, to investment funds, to insurance companies, to credit providers. So we do that like we are able to get any grower leads in Brazil through a facilitator. So for example, a cooperative, a reseller, or anyone who can be our partners on this case. And then we use our data analytics platform in order to get money from the capital markets and provide it to the growers. So we do that on a very quickly steps. We are able to do that in using neural networks. So first part, what we do is with a geolocation from any place, we can split the plots of a specific farm. Then we can identify it between corn, soybean, sugarcane, and then after that we can estimate what's the yield of that specific farm. So with that in hands, we can give that data to a bank, for example, who can understand better the farmer and take the decision whether he's going to provide a credit to that specific grower. So how do we use artificial intelligence? That's a real example. I'm going to show you another one in some minutes. So we are able to, in the left side here, you can see a municipality in Brazil. So we were able to identify all the soybean crop for this specific municipality. And on the right side, you can see Mato Grosso State, which is the biggest soybean producer in the world. And all of those points are farms that we have identified, and the colors means that what the quality of the yields. So blue means high quality yields, and red means low quality yields. So we just need a shape file of the farm. With that shape file, we pass it through a set of 4 different neural networks, and after that, we're able to give what's on your right side. That 100% of the farm is understood. We can identify what is soybean. In this case, is the green part here. The orange part is sugarcanes, and then we can say exactly what's the estimation of yields, what's the quality of this crop. So it's very important for taking a decision with a bank or insurance company, for example. Yeah. We can also provide ESG details for the banks. So we can say exactly whether the farmer has deforested a part of his farm, whether he's has planted into a preservation area that could not be planted in Brazil. That's a criminal offense here. Whether he could be, let's say, planting into indigenous reserve, for example. So we do everything using artificial intelligence plus satellite imagery. Yeah, and we have done that through a lot of different players in Brazil. So we have a very good partnerships here. We have done this crop between Bayer and KPMG, almost more than 4 million hectares here in Brazil. We have created automatic credit flow analysis with BTG Pactual. We have provided data for the 100 7 different states in Brazil for VLI. That's the second biggest logistic company in Brazil. And we are working with 2 different investment funds in Brazil in order to raise 1 billion Brazilian reais for credit, to give a credit to the farmers. So I'm going to show you quickly how is it when you, this is our new product. So what you're going to see here is our system identifying all the crop in Brazil. This is the Mato Grosso do Sul state, okay? And what you're going to see here is the system identifying all the crops. And then if I put like some zoom in, you can see that the green parts here are sugarcane, the blue ones are soybean, and the red ones are pasture here, okay? So you can see it's that the system can identify 100% of the crop in Brazil on an easy way. So we have already done that for 100% of Brazil. So that means we are able to identify, give specific data of how was the last 5 years of any farm, what's the track record of a specific farmer, how he has planted in the last years, whether he's a guy who's planting for the first time soybean or no, he has planted that for like a long time ago. So it's a very important data to banks. And our next step that we're just moving on right now is coming from a data provider and getting to the market, providing credit directly to the farmers through the capital market. That's where we are right now, and we're just starting fundraising. And so if you need, just give me a take.
Great presentation, Rafael. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexander.
And we move to next speaker. I hope Lia already fixed the problem. And also, he also covers the topic of artificial intelligence in AGRITECH. And please welcome Ilya Ashkabara, Vice President of Cognitive Pilots. It's a topic of cooperation of Russia and Brazil in agricultural sector. Presentation of AI-based cognitive agri-pilots, autonomous driving system for agricultural machinery.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed. Yeah, I would like to represent an autonomous driving system for agricultural machinery. Yeah, our company working for artificial intelligence and cognitive systems since 1993. We have more than 25 years experiences in cognitive systems, and 2 years ago we launched the first agriculture product. It's AgriPilot, which help to agro producer give precision agriculture and give ability to save money, to increase work hours, utility rate, and this solution based on autonomous vehicles base, which we before that built it for Hyundai Mobility. Yeah, and in comparing with other systems of autonomous pilots, we use cognitive technology, which independent of the GPS signal, and our system work right. And in case of low signal or something like bad coverage or something like that. Yeah, and using our system is really we have more than 1,000 installation.
Ilya, we lost you. Ilya, probably you can. Ilya, if you're hearing us, please rejoin the webinar or try to reach with another device. But I'm hearing you. Sorry guys for technical issues, because yeah, we are online. We will wait a minute for Ilya. Yeah. Okay. We will move to another speaker. Greatly appreciate the presentation you gave, Ilya, for us. Now we move to other topic. Simone Cristiani Branchi. I try to do my best with my pronunciation. And she, founder of Plant Care, will tell us about the plant health and evaluation of the pesticide, about plant diseases. I hope we can start. Simone, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alexander, for the introduction. Just let me share my screen. Sorry. Let me put in PowerPoint. Okay. Everything all right?
We are looking at the screen, but don't see the whole presentation right now. Yeah, please. Probably you need to change the screens.
Sorry. Let me try again.
Yeah.
Here's okay.
Yeah.
For me, it's okay. No.
Yeah, everything is fine right now.
Okay. Thank you. So good morning and good afternoon to everyone from Brazil and Russia. It's a pleasure to be here today. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Simone, and I will talk a little bit about our startup Plant Care. Plant Care was born in 2017 by my partner Caroline and I. We are agronomists with PhD in phytopathology and MBA in agrobusiness by University of São Paulo. We are based in Ribeirão Preto, in São Paulo State, and here is a picture of my partner at our research station in a soybean field. Our history begins with our love for science and starts at Supera Park, where we have had all the support and instructions that we need in every step we made, always focusing on what is best for our client. We also are incubated at AGRITECH, and we participated in innovation and business programs from the Brazilian Micro and Small Business Support Service here in São Paulo State. Plant Care is a research station who works in 3 different areas. First, providing service for national and multinational pesticides company, doing agronomic effectiveness tests, as well as testing new genetic materials for soybean, for example. Our goal is to work as a knowledge generation and research station, working with different areas of plant diseases and insects and weeds, and also participating in graduated and undergraduate programs, helping elaborating master's and PhD theses, also in internship programs. So what we offer in the provision of service is based on the pains that we identify in our clients, is incremental innovation, because we already have this kind of service, is a service that we need in the companies. So we offer a range of service in our research station, an app so the client can have access to the results before the final report is delivered to the companies. Our result is always based in scientific basis, so we help in the development of the product in the companies. And we are accredited by Brazilian Agriculture Ministry for the pesticides and fertilizer tests. We have been working in 6 different areas, so far with more than 10 cultures, from peanuts, potatoes, soybean, tomatoes, doing pesticides tests for more than 10 companies, national and multinational. For this, we have a team of research partners from University of São Paulo, as well as our own team of research. About the partnership opportunities, we would like to work in projects for prediction of diseases, using algorithms in climatic data, as well as using unmanned aerial vehicles. We have been working close to small companies to help developing products, and also doing partnership with research institutions and startups. So it's a short presentation about our work. Here we have our email and our social media. Please contact us. And thank you again for the opportunity, Alexander.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for so much for delivering to us such presentation. I've noticed you're really good in your background and expertise. I've noticed a lot of advisors on the board. It's great. And our next speaker will be Kirill Zabrev, Executive Director and co-founder of Intera, also on the topic of development of digital services for agriculture in Russia. Please welcome Kirill. Are you ready?
Yeah, hi guys. Just a moment.
Eles mandaram uma resposta sobre a proposta, eu recebi ele, mas a gente não falou disso.
Sorry. Okay. Hi guys. My name is Kirill Zabrev. I'm the executive director and the co-founder of Intera company. Sorry, you don't see my screen, I guess. Okay, great. Our company was founded 5 years ago in 2016 by a group of agriculture, information technology, and venture professionals. Our goal is to create an integrated platform that effectively connects all the players in the value chain of crop production. It all starts with the farmer. We all know that every day throughout the growing season, the farmer has to make countless decisions that will have an impact on the final yield and his margins. He works with numerous suppliers, advisors, service providers, and financial institutions, and does that most of the time in unorganized way using phone, email, or messengers. Useful information, plans, and decisions are really often kept in the most high-tech 21st century form, in what is called Farmer's Notebook. And we actually changed that in 2018 by introducing to the market our software solution, Sky Scout. Not only is the farmer able to keep all the information about the fields organized, but he has access to weather data, satellite imagery, and the most comprehensive catalogs of pests, weeds, and diseases on the market. But not only the farmer keeps an eye on the situation in the fields. We have built a professional tool for producers, distributors, and independent advisors that are consulting the farmer during the year. Early in the season, they assist the farmer with choosing the right seeds and technology to use. Within the season, advisors are monitoring the crop using satellite imagery and identifying potential problems that they later ground-proof in the fields. They provide the farmer with scouting reports together with recommendations. The farmer can agree with the recommendation and plan the according operation, or request a second opinion from trusted independent advisors that are available to him in Sky Scout through our service Interactive. Apart from that, scouting app, season planning, and variable rate application maps, all of these tools are available for the farmers in our service Sky Scout. Starting this summer, we will go even further. The farmer will be able to convert those input recommendations that he received into real orders and place them in the entire market. We'll help him compare offers and find alternatives to suit best to his budget, payment schedule, or shipping terms. But there is actually more to come. Starting autumn this year, the farmer will be able to fill in a single form and apply for a loan from Russia's top banks and use this money to finance the purchase of inputs. Our digital agronomy tools have allowed us to build a unique methodology that allows us to assess agronomic risks associated with the specific farm and make the decision process for the banks much easier, similar to what the guys from AgriNow are doing. We will be starting with bank loans, and we will be following up with equipment lease, insurance, and other financial products. Currently, more than 1,000 farmers from 6 countries are using our services, including guys from AgriTech. They're using our services to track trial plots using productivity zones. And we actually look forward to expanding our business to new locations, including Brazil. Most of the top producers and distributors are already using our professional tools to deliver the highest level of service to their clients. Soon, they will be joined by top financial institutions, traders, and service providers. And I think together with them, we'll make farming far more convenient, reliable, and economically effective. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kirill. Thank you for your timing. Really, really accurate. Thank you so much for presenting. Yeah. And the next speaker will raise the problem of animal health and biological control. Let me welcome to Lucas von Zubin, CEO and co-founder of Decoy. Lucas, please welcome. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me for this great event. It's a great pleasure for me to be here, presenting our work for you. I share my screen just a moment. Let me know if you can see it.
Yeah, we can see it.
So my name is Lucas von Zubin. I'm the CEO of Decoy, and Decoy is a biotech company that develops sustainable solutions for pest control. And the first solutions we created was to solve the pain of this guy, the Brazilian cattle breeder. This guy needs to deal with a very big problem, that is the cattle tick. This pest generates only in Brazil more than $3 billion of losses every year. And this is because this parasite decreases the production of milk and meat, transmit disease that can cause the death of animals, And the worst part is that the current alternatives, that the current solutions that farmers have to control this pest, they are no longer efficient because of the resistance the pests acquired by these products. Not to mention that these products are mainly comprised by chemical compounds, which are very toxic for the cattle, people, and environment. So to solve this problem, we developed two biopesticides. Just a moment. Two biopesticides, one to be applied and to control ticks that are attacking the animals, and the other one to be applied and control ticks that are present on the pasture. So with this, we can provide farmers with an effective control of ticks that does not develop resistance, and it's safe for the cattle, people, and environment, and also doesn't leave toxic residues in milk and meat. So we can provide and help farmers to have a cleaner, healthier, and more sustainable production. Consequently, they can have higher profits. These products, these biopesticides, are based in a technology that is as simple as sophisticated. We use two fungi species that are natural enemies of ticks. So each bottle of our products has billions of spores of these two fungi. So when they get in contact with ticks, they develop and kill ticks. So, and also they can infect all life stage of the parasite. So we can have an effective control in the entire populations of this pests. So we can actually have a very efficient control. To deliver these solutions to farmers, we have a model that we call it direct to farm. So we have a small plant industry which produces these solutions, and then they are delivered to farmers by our inside and field sales team. And as a result of the value we are delivering to farmers, we increased our revenue by 4 times last year when compared to 2019. And this year we are estimating to double it. But that's just the beginning. The market has huge opportunities. In the livestock market, Brazil is a global leader. It has the largest commercial herd in the world, and we estimate that the chicks control industry generates each year more than $500 million Brazilian reais. But there's more to come. We are also developing solutions for the pet sector, since ticks are also a problem for dogs. And we are also developing solutions for the poultry sector, since these birds also have problems with pests and disease. And to achieve all these goals, we have a highly qualified team with complementary skills. But most important, it's a group of people that share a common purpose. We strongly believe that the pest control market is watching a major technological transition. If in the last century, humanity has discovered chemistry and found how chemistry can solve most of our problems, we think and believe that the next century will be the age of biologicals. So we see that chemical pesticides will be soon as outdated as the old typewriters, and they will be replaced by biological solutions. And we think that the impact that this technological transition will have will be compared to the impact at the digital revolution. But it's not only the technological transition by itself that most motivates us, but the fact that this new technology, it's in harmony with a fundamental truth. We belong to an interconnected and interdependent network of relationships that unites all living organisms. And this network, when something happens to one part of this network, it affects everyone. So we need to take care of the balance of this network. Otherwise, things may collapse very quickly. So the future demands solutions that are healthier and cleaner and more sustainable solutions that help to take care of the balance of this network. But to build this future, we need to find solutions that help to solve our problems of today. And that's why we exist. Join us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the presentation. Now we are moving forward to the next speech. The last startup, Daniele Alkmin Carvalho Moalem. She's CEO of Agroglam, and she will discover the digital platform for specialty coffee market, connecting producers, buyers, and strategic partners. Please welcome. Daniele. Daniele, please turn on your mic.
Thank you, Alex. Are you listening? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a moment. Let me share. Tá conseguindo ver ele? Vem aqui, corre aqui.
Yeah, we're seeing the presentation right now. Everything is fine, and yeah.
Did you see my presentation?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay. You can continue.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, it's a pleasure to be here. My name is Daniele, and I'm a CEO and co-founder of AGRITECH. I'm Q-grader and specialist in specialty coffee. I'm daughter of producer. In 2015, I started working with my father in our production of specialty coffee. At this time, I started to understand the challenges of the coffee grower. The farm is an open company. And just like my father, we have in Brazil, which is the largest coffee producer in the world, more than 300,000 coffee producers that deal with production challenges, high cost, lack of knowledge of the quality of the coffee, remuneration not consistent with quality, and many intermediates in the chain. On the other hand, working for 5 years commercializing of my family's coffee, we understand challenges buyers go through. They look for variety, consistencies in supply, additional to guarantee the quality of the coffee that will be delivered, transparency and traceability, as well as competitive price. When we look at the traditional coffee chain, the producer didn't have access to the buyer who would roast his beans. He would normally sell them intermediating. And then buyers had difficulties in accessing specialty coffee. Our value proposition is to connect producers and buyers efficiently and effectively, positively impacting the income of producers and offer the best coffee found in Brazil to customers abroad with traceability, variety, options from different sources, and supply consistency. Our solution is AGRITECH the Coffee ID. We have a multilateral platform that connects producers and buyers of specialty coffees. By means of interactive filters, the customer identifies the lots that he most likes and makes the purchase in a few clicks. Producers have access to previously inaccessible markets. Buyers visit the farm, learn about the producer's life stories, and even buy the coffees with the quality and price they offer through the screen of a computer or smartphone. The customer selects the filters according to their demand, which can be the price, scores, or certification. We have several oranges offered, and all lots with a traceability seal that guarantees the quality of and origin of the coffee delivered. We are like a bridge between two worlds, from producers here in Brazil and universe of roasters in the world. Our business model is based on a sale commission, approximately 5%. It depends on the quality of the coffee. AGRITECH in the coffee market is an evolution of our current platform already being developed. It will have more features to streamline the players' daily lives with easy origination of specialty coffee, with more information, agility, transparency, using technology to facilitate coffee sales and export process to the producer. We are working to offer several models that will speed up the communication between the players. We will automate coffee origination process. There will be integrated logistic traceability using technology and business intelligence. To run this solution, we have partners who have warehouses to prepare the coffee to be export and make them available for logistics. We do not buy the coffee from the producers. We are scalable because we are working with the stock of the producer and that may be available to different points in Brazil. In our app, first the producers has their coffee into cooperative or warehouse to be prepared for export. After that, AgriTech will manage samples, sales work, quality versus price, then customer access, sales completion, integrated to logistics, quality control, and origin, and finally delivery guarantee, and relationship management on the customer by platform. Our solution brings economic sustainability to the chain. As we increase the remuneration of the producer, we value the work in fields. Succession becomes more natural and attractive for young people. Continuity of agricultural production, we improve the quality of the life and we increase the volume of quality coffee. Here in this photo, we have our producer, Demetrio, his son and his father, 3 generations working with specialty coffee. We need technology to improve the process to continue to offer good opportunities for producers and buyers of specialty coffee. Thank you for your attention. My contact's here. If you have any question, I'm happy to answer. Thanks, Alex, for the opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you, Daniele. It's a nice project indeed. AgriRegion helps buyers and suppliers to get working together. And now we try to reach Ilya Shkabara again, and hopefully right now he on the line. Ilya, are you hearing
Yes,
us?
I'm here. Do you hear me?
Yeah. Let me introduce you again for our audience. It's Ilya Shkabara from Cognitive Pilots, Vice President of the company, with the topic of cooperation and of Russia and Brazil in agricultural sector, presenting with AI-based cognitive agro pilots autonomous driving system for agricultural machinery. Please continue.
Do you see the presentation?
Yeah, we are seeing right now your presentation.
Yeah. Thanks God. Okay, I will be as short as possible. Okay, we are talking about autonomous driver system for agricultural machinery. We produce that for 2 years, and our company has a great experience since 1993. And we are always specialized on cognitive technologies and technologies of recognition, of visual recognition and audio recognition. Yeah. For a long time, we work with Hyundai Mobility, with this Korean company, and we are doing for that block for cognitive recognition for autopilots. And 2 years ago, we launched agriculture solution for harvesters, and this solution was very popular. Now we have more than 1,000 installation primary in Russia, but same we sold our product to the United States, to Brazil, to Argentina, to Germany, to other countries. And yesterday we launched principally new product, the generation 2nd. And this product could be useful for Brazilian market because it will be the first cognitive copilot for harvester and tractors, which could be useful for sugarcane. And today I have a big negotiation with our Brazilian partners, and I hope it will be the first deal on Brazilian market for new generation. Yeah. And I appreciate our Brazilian partners, and I think a cooperation between Russian and Brazilian markets, between our people, between our society, is one of the great way to increase our productivity in agriculture sector. I just keep a few short stops on the what different between cognitive system and GPS system. As the first one, as a GPS system, it's a preloaded program, yeah, and it uses map and moving during the map. Our solution can react to the obstacles, other machinery, people and animals, or maybe difficult field and crop geometry. As a result, for Brazilian market, it's highly useful. I want to say that we are looking for partners in Brazil who want to try with us achieve our goal to build the best solution for agriculture, for harvesters, for tractors, and a co-pilot system for a lot of different things. And nowadays we are open for contact, open for new partners, and we keep touch with Brazilian people. And you can free to call me or send me mail. I will be happy to communicate with anyone. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Ilya, for presentation. Okay, right now we have one extra guest for this session. It is Dmitry Naumov, who is Managing Director of Rossельхозbank in Russia, who will present the first digital ecosystem for agricultural complex built by Rossельхозbank. And please welcome to the stage and tell us about this platform.
Hi colleagues, my name is Dmitry Naumov, as I said. I'm glad to introduce our digital ecosystem for farmers, my own farming. And first of all, when we're talking about farming, about some ecosystem and products, we should understand who is our client. And we are working for our common farmers. It's a medium, a small business, medium businesses, and they know everything about his farm because he's working a lot of sometimes from childhood, and he know everything about procedure, about some features, about some technologies, and so on. And over here you saw Valery, he's a real farmer, and he worked in farming about 20 years. And when we're trying to understand what is the problem, what is the main, and we find that he know everything, but he have a lot of problems at the same time. He have no a lot of time because he finding new partners for his business. He finding specialists who should work. He finding some partners for logistics and so on. And that's why we decide to help him to solve his main aims. First of all, find permission specialist, young specialist who will work with him a lot of, and who will be able to work with a new businesses, new digital solutions like OpenTerra and Cognitive Pilot, so on. We should understand that it should be young and healthy specialist. The next main, which we are ready to solve for them, it's partners for raw materials and new equipment. and good services and so on. That's why we divide our ecosystem for 6 branches. First of all, it's an agricultural marketplace with a lot of goods inside of them. It's about 20 categories. Online business, digital banks, information systems, services for interactions with the government, and of course, new digital AGRITECH services. Like as Entera, we are glad to see our partner over here. And this is one of the main maybe examples that all digital service should be accessible for farmers, and it should be very easy, should be very comfortable for him to solve his all daily needs. And one of the samples of such services will be soil analysis. It's a very usual, it's very common for all of us who work in agriculture, but it's not a very easy in a daily use, because usually you should collect samples, you should pack it, should travel somewhere, pass it, wait for a few days, receive all results, go to another specialist like who able to describe the results and give some recommendations, and so on and so on and so on. And you spend about 2, maybe 3 weeks to solve this problem. But in our ecosystem, we're ready to solve this problem in 2 days. Today you are gathering samples, and today, maybe tomorrow, courier will come to you and receive the samples. And at the same time, you will receive the results of the soil analysis and recommendations. What is the problem and how to solve it? And one of before you work with this problem 2, maybe 3 weeks, right now you're able to solve it in 2 days. It's a great difference, and that's why we're talking that everything should be easy and everything should be common for farmer, and all services should be the same. And I think till the end of the autumn, we able to share you some new extra services, some special services. Nowhere in the world now there is now something the same, something common, and I think we will surprise you. And if you're talking about our ecosystem in numbers, currently we have about 10,000 vacancies and CVs inside of them. Right now we have about 5,000 users and every day, and so on. That's why if you have some digital services or want to understand the better way for your farmer, we will glad you, and we will ready to make a partnership with Brazilian and Russian professional companies who works in agriculture. It's me, and my contacts, mail me.
Thank you, Dmitry. Thank you for the presentation. It's a great opportunity for Russian and Brazilian businesses to be presented in your platform as well. And thank you everyone for attending us today. Today's webinar, AGRITECH in Russia and Brazil, current trends and opportunities for businesses. And the event is organized by Embassy of Brazil in Moscow in cooperation with Supera Technological Park and with the informational support of Rus-based media about businesses and technology. If you have any questions, please contact us, and you may see in the chat, in this chat and group chat, our email address, info.brazilrussiatech.ru. We will answer, and also if you ask us to get the presentation from these webinars, we also can send you as well. And thank you for joining us today, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.